What is good with y'all? It is Zeph, and today we are back with another review, and this one is for the Fantastic Four movie. I just watched this on opening day yesterday, and let me just tell y'all, this was a pretty good movie. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Now, I'm not that big on the Fantastic Four. I think if you see my Marvel tier list, y'all should know that. I know literally nothing about them. I haven't seen their movies since I was like 7. I haven't seen any of their comics for real. Which is so weird because I've always loved Doctor Doom. Since I was a little kid, I've always loved Doctor Doom. When it comes to his design, his character, everything, I've been so drawn to this character. But when it comes to the Fantastic Four, literally the superheroes that he's tied to, I don't really care for. like it's kind of funny. Like I really do not have any pre-existing thoughts on the Fantastic Four. They're just kind of there to me, and I know they're very important in the comics, which is so weird why they have not got any good movies till now, because they are so important. Like every comic that I've read through that was like a big event, they were always there. Like I know Spider-Man was very tied to them at the beginning. Isn't Spider-Man and his amazing friends, I think Johnny Storm is in that, and his amazing friend, if I'm not wrong, it's Johnny Storm. Nah, I'm talking about the old one. This is one in like no, that's, what is that, Silver Surfer? Okay, never mind, I'm bugging. But I knew someone from the Fantastic Four related, quote unquote, was in this show. This used to be on Netflix, and I actually did watch this as a kid, just so y'all know. But I know Fantastic Four had a huge presence in so much of the comics, so it's kind of weird that I really don't know much about them. So this is really my first real like adult introduction to them for real. And I think this movie did a fantastic job. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did play this as a kid, the GameCube game. If you know, you know. This game was fire, bro. I played this game like crazy. My cousins had this. I played it on my Wii. Like you could play GameCube games on your Wii. I used to play this. This game was mad tough. Other than that, though, I'm telling you, I know nothing about the Fantastic Four. It's been forever since I've seen the movies for real. But I would say this movie did a great job when it comes to introducing all of the characters for real. I think this movie is going to be kind of, at least the reviews are going to be kind of all over the place. Not because the movie is divisive, but because it's not typical to what most Marvel fans are going to be used to. Like, Thunderbolts is similar to this movie where it's more character based, but that movie does have a lot of action. It has like its stereotypical hand-to-hand combat. Y'all seen the Sentry fight? It's going crazy all over social media. People love that fight. This movie got no action whatsoever. Like there is no action where it's just like two people are sitting there punching each other. The Fantastic Four are not really built like that. Like Reed got the stretchy powers, but he's not really a fighter. At least from my knowledge, I know he's not a fighter. Johnny Storm, his powers don't really put him in the field like that. The only one to really be boxing is a Thing, but he be more like the Hulk. For real. And Sue, I don't know if she actually gets into a real fight, but she got the best powers out of all of them. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's the boxer out of all of them for real. So this movie really do not got no basic action. They're going against Galactus. You can't have a 1v1 fight with a nigga this big. So there's gonna be no action. I've already seen reviews of people saying this movie kind of underwhelmed me because there's no action, blah blah blah. Like it's kind of just like people talking the whole time, which for the Fantastic Four should be the point. It's only 4 characters. These are the heart and soul of like their entire group dynamic. It should just be character based. I don't know why people expected this to be an action movie. Even from the trailers, you could tell this is not gonna be like a stereotypical Marvel action movie, and I think it shouldn't have been. I think how they focused it is great, with the first half being very well, the whole movie, but specifically the first half being very character based and how they interact with the world and all that. I loved how this was written the first half. The second half, with it being more like disaster orientated with the threat of Galactus coming and all that, I loved it, bro. The only complaints that I have, at least about these 4, I feel like Reed is so, I want to say boring. He got nothing to do for real. Like, he is so stereotypical. I am the smart guy who does nothing else. I'm nothing else besides I'm smart. That's what Reed felt like to me in this movie. He was, besides his smartness, I can't name you one character trait that he had for real. Besides the fact that he was like very stressed out and worried that he was about to give birth to a child, which is, I'd say, normal for every father. But besides that, he has nothing. Sue was like, she was MVP of the movie. She was incredible. By far the best character in the. If there was a main character in the movie, it's Sue, and she was, bro. She won me over, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I would read the comics just to see more of her. If she's like that in the comics chat, bro, I'm tapped in. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm so tapped in. She was so goated, bro. I'm not gonna go too spoiler heavy, but when she was having that ISO at the end of the movie and she was dead, like holding him like bruh. She was the GOAT. She was the GOAT. The Thing don't got that much to do either in terms of, like, I'd say quote unquote plot relevance, but like I liked all the scenes he had, like when he was interacting with the kids, him and that girl. I feel like there was some scenes missing. People have been saying in the trailers there is scenes that are just not in the movie. Now, I'm not a trailer watcher anymore. I'm gonna be honest. I stopped watching trailers a long time ago. I think it was actually Avengers Infinity War that made me stop watching trailers for movies. Especially how they lied about the Hulk. I don't watch trailers for nothing. Video games, movies, I really don't. Very rarely. Maybe like the first trailer, but everything after that, I kind of just keep blind. I don't watch trailers for. So, I would not have noticed any of the missing scenes. But like, I'd say for sure, the Thing and that girl that they kind of like paired him with in the movie, I feel like doesn't go anywhere, number one. And number two, like they should have had more scenes, because I kind of just felt like he was just staring at her in a distance and nothing came of it. I don't know if maybe I didn't see this in the movie, if they were connected before he transformed into the Thing, obviously, but I don't know. It kind of just feel like he was just stalking her, looking at her from a distance. He would try to talk to her here and there, and it never really culminated into something. Like it felt kind of useless. It felt very useless to the plot. Even for the Thing's character, because I don't think it did anything to the Thing's character. I feel like the scene with the kids did more for me to like him than whatever they were trying to do with him and that girl. In my opinion, I think Johnny Storm was great as well. Very different interpretation for what I was thinking. I thought like compared to Chris Evans, where he was just the cocky, I like woman and I want to smash anything in sight. Like he was very, very calm compared to that. Like he was chill. I like Johnny Storm quite a bit. I don't know how accurate any of these guys are to the comics. Like I said, I know nothing, but I think this is a great introduction to all of them. This was a very heartfelt story, which very much focused on the characters, and I feel like people are going to lose sight of that. And because besides the one action scene in the middle with the GOAT Silver Surfer, people are going to say this movie is boring. And even the Silver Surfer action scene is not a regular action scene. It's not people boxing. It's like a chase scene. So I'm telling you, people are going to really throw this. I feel like people are not going to give this movie its fair dues just because the action is not up to snuff. But the action scene in the middle with her chasing them down was fine. She was insane. And I love, bro. She was so good in this movie. The only flaw I have for this Silver Surfer, I hated how she disappeared in the final act. She just disappears and then she does the thing, like the sacrifice play at the end. I did not like that at all. That didn't make any sense to me, in my opinion. Like it was just out of left field. It was like it was building up to something crazy with her and Johnny. She was just gone, and then she comes back and takes out Galactus. I feel like that was very mishandled. Like there was definitely scenes cut of her too. Like I know there was scenes cut. I've seen Moist Critical's review. I've seen Cosmonauts as well. They said that there was definitely some scenes cut, at least in the trailers. Again, I wouldn't have known. But just from watching the movie, I feel like you could tell there's some stuff that should have been there that is not there. And I feel like she had a big moment. There had to have been a big moment, or they definitely, I don't know if they forgot. I feel like that's a big oversight to forget. But there was, her presence not being in the final act, I feel like is huge, because she comes out of nowhere. So out of nowhere, man. Especially with the scene that we last see her in. So it's like it's with her and Johnny. Johnny kind of pressurizes her, if I can speak English, into like regretting all that she's done. And then she kind of flies away after that. We don't see her until the sacrifice play. I feel like there should have been a scene in the middle of that or something. Maybe Johnny trying to recruit her to fight Galactus, and she's like, nah. She's like hesitant to do that. Similar to this scene from Spider-Man 3. Let me actually look that up. Similar to like this scene. I feel like a scene like this would have been dope. Like even if she says no in the moment and then like she later comes back, even though it would have been really obvious, I feel like that would have been way better suited than how they handled it in the movie. I'm not gonna lie, because she just comes out of nowhere and she like makes the biggest play of the movie. But other than that, she was literally like a 9 out of 10. She was so goated. I loved every scene that had her. She actually felt menacing, especially in the chase scene. She felt so threatening, bro. She was goated. She was goated. She was goated, bro. Galactus was very goated too. You could feel his presence in every single scene, which is how he should be. The only downside I have to Galactus is I low-key wish they kept the goofy cartoon. I love this design so much, bro. It's so stupid, but I love it, bro. I wish they kept the bright colors and all that, but you can't have everything you want. I feel like besides that, he was handled perfectly. And I do not know Reed and Susan's son, but I hear that he's broken. I hear this guy is like stupidly overpowered when I was looking it up, because like in the movie that's like the main point, like he's just he has like insane superpowers. In the comics I hear he's apparently stupid overpowered too. I don't know how factual that is, but I know there's also an X-Men baby. I don't know if it's Cyclops and Jeans that's really broken too, but apparently whenever superheroes make babies, they are like the most broken thing to ever set foot in the universe. So it's low-key crazy. But I would say overall, this movie, this is the most tonally consistent. I forgot to say that too. This is the most tonally consistent movie that Marvel has probably dropped, bro. There's no useless jokes. There's no filler in the movie. There's nothing that drags it down. Everything is there for a purpose, and it just works. Like, this movie is just great. Is it the greatest Marvel movie that has like released ever? No. I think Thunderbolts and this is kind of being overrated because we haven't had good Marvel movies in that long. I don't think these two are of that snuff, but this is definitely a very, very good origin movie for these guys. That's kind of all of my thoughts on it, because again, I don't have any pre-distinguished feelings on these characters for real, but I'm very excited to see them in the future. Especially Sue won me over, bro. Sue won me over. I know y'all was already won over because of the Marvel Rivals going in. That was not me, bro. This won me over, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in the Sue fan club just like y'all, bro. I'm her biggest fan now. I'm real life her biggest fan now. I'm not even gonna hold y'all, bro. And the post-credit scene was dope too. I loved the post-credit scene. It was something small, but I loved it. That was great. I wish we saw RDJ, because I know like in Avengers 2013 we saw Thanos mad early, but that dude, if you were there during that time, you know the hype that had. You know how strong the hype that was, bro. And I wish they did that, because that would have carried insane hype, especially in the social media era that we are in now. That would have carried insane hype if Thanos carried the hype that he had in just that one post-credit scene. This one would have went crazy too. But I'm very excited for Doomsday. I would love to see how they end up using the Fantastic Four. I thought this movie was gonna end I thought it was gonna have a bad ending, because, you know, Thunderbolts ends with the rocket ship of the Fantastic Four landing on their Earth. I thought Galactus would have ate their Earth and they try to travel to another multiverse after what Galactus did. I did not know this movie was going to end happily and then it leads to Doctor Doom. I'm very curious to see how they tie it in, because again, the Thunderbolts ending leads you to believe something else, you know? So I really don't know. So I'm assuming when they come down to Earth and the Thunderbolts end credits, it's after whatever Doctor Doom does. So I assume Avengers Doomsday is going to start with Doctor Doom destroying their universe or something crazy. For them to leave their universe and come to Earth, I thought it was going to be Galactus. I'm very surprised it wasn't. So I'm very excited for that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this movie. I thought this movie was pretty great. People are going to give it not going to give it its fair dues, because there's little to no action besides that one middle scene and then the end that you can't really call a fight scene for real. It was kind of just there, I'll be honest. But overall, I'd say this movie was pretty dope. Y'all let me know what y'all feel in the comments, and I shall see y'all in the next one.